This for many times. I've heard much about Toastmasters. I've seen certain people proposing toast in dinners. And one thing which really attracts me of this whole crowd is there are so many youngsters who would like to communicate. Being a communicologist would be the best thing a human being can do in his life. I say this because the distinguished leaders, whoever spoke here, they recalled how they came and joined this club and all that. So I was also reminded of my student days. I used to be a chatterbox. I think most of you are the same. That's why I joined here. What happened is, right from my childhood, I'd like to talk. And only my teachers were disturbed about it and nobody else. Then what happened, I started reading newspapers. Luckily, there weren't much of your internet stuff those days. So what I'll do is I'll pick up all these negative news and elaborate on it. Then this tendency grew much. If I hear somebody is dead, maybe in the next street or something, you would be a celebrity or something. I didn't have a phone at the time at my home. I'll go to this phone box and you will drop 1 rupee and talk. I'll dial up people and say, this guy passed away. Why the hell should I do it? I didn't know. This kind of tendency grew, and somewhere I thought this is bad because people didn't like bad stuff much. All these kind of rumors, negativity will be interesting initially. Later on, if you are sensible enough, you like to move away from it. I think that's how people move away from TV serials. So much of negative stuff is being thrown in our hall. So I decided to move away from this pattern. That was the time I was inspired by so many Tamil scholars, like Karthik was saying here. I was inspired by so many scholars. I started reading more, I started hearing more, and I have a good memory. So I was able to accumulate whatever I hear and whatever I read. And when I started talking that, people who call me a chatterbox call me a scholar. This was the transition. See, if at all you have a passion for something, and if you can put it in the right path, the world will start appreciating you. That is the first lesson which I learned from my own life. I won't call it as an experiment of truth, but it was a basic experience, very authentic experience which came into my mind. So, I could really infer what people were saying here, why they became a member in the Toastmasters club. Yes, any answers? I have my own inferences, I would like you to respond. What made you join Toastmasters?
To become leaders.
Sorry?
To become better leaders.
Better leaders? Better communicators?
Gain confidence.
Gain confidence.
To be humble.
Humble, yeah, to be humble.
To throw out our weaknesses inside within us.
Getting too spiritual. Yeah, but he's right, When you become a leader, when you develop confidence, you throw out all your negativity. Good. But there's a nice saying which I always remind my young friends whenever I meet them in colleges and schools. Who is a leader? Readers are leaders, leaders are readers. Unfortunately, you are exposed more to internet. Internet is very choosy. You just type a word, it just comes and gives you loads and loads of information on that particular word. But it is a single focused area. But when you go and pick up a book and read, it is multi-focused. each and every page is able to communicate to you so many things which you haven't even imagined of. So being a reader will make you a leader. When you read something, what all happens? I would like to tell you a few quotes. What does the book does to you? Do you know when the first book was printed? Nobody of you know? Sorry? No, so I can say any date, no? So none of you know.
1450.
You'll check it in internet. I'll say it's wrong. See, when the first human being emerged from a monkey, the first book was printed. You know why? That at least said, I am no more a monkey. The book said. That's why monkeys don't like books, you know. You try giving a book to a monkey, you know what it'll do with it? It'll just tear it and throw. So if there are people who don't like books, they are? I didn't say that, you told me. So, what happens when we read a book? That is very important. See, here, when people came out to the stage and everything, I could hear Muthu Subramaniam talking. He was talking about sleepless nights, everything. See, to arrange something, you work so meticulously. But when you sit and see something, your mind, it goes through, scrutinizes the happening, and you come out with some inferences. When you refer a book, I was talking about books. I said books are better than internet. Believe me, books are better than internet, but your inferences are better than any books. How do I justify this? For a speaker, when you come across an incident and you quote it on a stage, it is just a quote. You'll have to throw your own light on it. Let me give you an example. See, few years back, we came across a news. One fellow's wife died. He didn't have money to even take a body home. Local people at the hospital didn't help him. He just carried the body in his shoulder and walked a few kilometers. Do you remember the story?
Yes. Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
So, this is a reference, no? This is a reference. What do you infer from this? If at all you are quoting this incident in your speech, can I have a handmade please? If at all you are quoting this incident, what would be your inference? I would like someone of you to give a try. What immediately comes to your mind hearing this?
Love.
Sir?
Love for the wife.
Love for the wife. Okay.
Money is important.
Money is important because he lacked money.
People are not helping when
The helping tendency has gone down. Anybody else?
Taking the past with you.
Sorry?
Taking the past with you.
Taking the
Past.
past with you. Okay, you're carrying the past with you.
when there is no way, make a way.
Okay, coming out of the situation, when you don't have a way, you make a way, but someone said carrying the past. Can I identify the person? Can I see? Yes, ma'am, your good name?
Akshaya.
Can you elaborate on this?
Well, because most of the times when we say the person is dead, it is done. But you're still shouldering it. It is a lot of weight on your shoulders and you're carrying it and walking. And if you remove it, you probably feel a lot of relief and do something else with your life. You're still alive, but you're carrying somebody dead. Don't pity the dead, pity the living.
Very good. This is what I really expected. And more precise, see, this guy was carrying the body in his shoulder only for a few kilometers. Then he is going to drop it down, as Akshay has said, someone will take it to the funeral, everything will happen. But we people carry bitter memories in our heart for miles and miles and years together. This guy is far better than us. It is just a temporary mission. But people make a point to carry something permanently with them so that they don't enjoy this moment. They are not in the present tense. Why? We carry all dead memories, dead happenings, dead suffering. The sufferings are not even here. See, after seeing this big crowd also, Muthu Subramaniam is worried about his sleepless nights. See, that's how memories linger in our mind, right? So this is one aspect. I think Akshay has come very close to what I thought about this particular incident. Congratulations. And second thing, when we use words as instruments to convey whatever we think, we need to go in depth. We have to live with that word, or we need to meditate with the word. You know, in Zen, a word is given. People just meditate with the word. They just stay with the word. This is what your Eastern philosophy was doing this. Your Eastern kind of imparting wisdom was giving a mantra. Let's not go into it. It's a very subtler aspect. But even common words which we use for communication. Okay, there's a word called understand. Our teachers will use it very often, you know. Do you understand? Today is Monday. Do you understand? He'll say. Yes? What do you mean by the word understand?
Conceiving the information.
Sorry?
Conceiving the information, whatever people.
Okay, I want a literal meaning of the word understand.
Processed.
Internet.
Processed information. Okay, you are saying the next stage of this word. Where does it lead? That's what you are trying to say.
Listen what I say.
Huh?
Listen what I say.
No, understand is past tense. Listen what I say is future tense. Right? Am I right? See, when you can't rule a word, what does the British say? How will you rule? Divide and rule. So, when it comes to understand, divide and rule. Just divide the word. Under? See, this definition came from Osho, it's not mine. Osho said, understanding is a position where your sense of perception has elevated to such a level where everything else stands under you. In a given situation, when everything else stands under you, you're in total control, that is called understanding. So we just use this word, understand, but we don't even understand what is to understand. See, eloquence is different. When you are going to be very lavish with your words, you can be eloquent. But if you want to be precise, you should be more choosy about the words. You enter a mall, you have much money with you, but you wanted to buy a particular product. But you end up blowing your money, buying all unnecessary things, just because you have money and you don't have enough money to buy that particular product. This happens with lecture also. When you are lavish with your words, you talk so many things, you miss the point. Normally, I don't use PowerPoints when I speak. With due respects to whoever uses PowerPoints, I have nothing against it, but I don't use PowerPoints. Because when I go to programs, conferences, people ask me, sir, do you need PowerPoint? I use PowerPoint either to play a song or to show a closing video or something like that, but it's not a part and parcel of my presentations. So people were a bit agitated. So you don't use PowerPoints? Oh, You're going to talk for 1 hour? That was even more bothering for them, All these things came up. Then I told them, see, when you make a presentation, there should be power, there should be point. That is PowerPoint for me. I see PowerPoint in that way. What I'm trying to say is be original, be spontaneous. Now, I hear more about the stand-up comedies. I don't know what is stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy, seated seriousness. See, whether comedy or a hard thought or a very powerful thought, it has to be spontaneous, When your thought is spontaneous, I'm a very informal guy. Wherever I go, I just be what I am and how I am, because I like to be spontaneous. So being spontaneous is a gift for you. As an orator, if you want to say certain things in a very powerful way, just look into yourself. When you start a meeting, you go for an invocation. You raise up for an invocation. What is invocation? You are invoking the inner power, which is already inside you. See, what happened is, in our tradition, in most of the traditions, we call God as a father, right? He's supposed to be a father. Even God learned certain lessons from our fathers. See, a father, he had a son who used to flick away money very often. Wherever he safeguards the money, the boy will take it off. Shirt pocket, pant, locker, in his mother's cooking vessels, utensils. Wherever they hide the money, he'll take it off. Then father and mother had a discussion. How do we safeguard money from our son? Then they arrived at a solution. You place it inside his textbook. He'll never open it. And it worked, The money was safe for quite some time. The boy didn't even bother to open the textbook. So God thought, when he's sitting in the temple, he's sitting in the church, in the mosque, on the mountains, on the sky, people look up and say, oh God, please save me, do me this, do me that. Please pay my monthly installment. All these requests and prayers went up. So God decided, I have a place where these guys shouldn't come and disturb me. He went into our inner heart and sat. We never looked there at all. We just live on the surface. We think on the surface. Our emotions are on surface level. So if you go in depth, you will find God. That is why in Tamil they say kada ul. Kada ul is inside, deep inside. Any thought, if it's going to come from the depth of your heart, depth of your intelligence, depth of your intellect, it will make a major difference. So, being an orator is a full-time what? Job? Profession? Passion. It's a full-time passion. If you have a nice, strong passion, and if it turns to be your profession, you're the most blessed person on the earth. I'm the most blessed person on the earth. Because communication was my passion. Somehow it turned to become my profession. There are certain places, people will want fit in. But they'll have some basic tendencies which they have never developed either by training or reading or whatever. One of my friends used to say, he went and saw a born child in the hospital. He was a good old man. While coming back, he blessed the child. He said, I bless and I know you'll become a very big professor in a college. 30 to 35 years went. This guy was even more old. He saw a man coming inside, touching his feet. He said, Sir, I'm so-and-so. I was told by my parents, you came and saw me in the hospital when I was born. You blessed that I'll become a professor. So am I. I've become a professor now. I just can't believe how by seeing a child you can say that you can predict the future. you should be a great master. You bless me again. And you also tell me how could you judge it? He said, see, it's very simple. I came and saw you in the hospital. You were crying non-stop for 45 minutes. Non-stop for 45 minutes. And the best part is no one bothered to even look at you. So there I guess you will become a professor. He said, sir, how did you make this guess? He said, because I am also a professor. I know how the world functions and how people behave. So sometimes it's missed shot perceived to be the right shot. But when we have passion for something, and we do have an avenue to express it. Nothing like that. So people, they sit and prepare, take notes for lecture. It's all good to do in the initial stages. Later on, you should enjoy doing it. It is just like music, churning out. It is something like cuckoo sings for someone, for nobody. It's for no audience. But the whole world hears it, right? That kind of a tendency is very, very important. So now many people here, I again quote Muthu Subramaniam. He said, 3 years back I was standing away from the hall, aspiring to become a speaker. Can I do this? Can I do that? This is where people. Sorry, how long can I speak? I don't know when I started. I didn't speak at my. Sorry. Okay, I can speak for another 20 minutes. So, what happens is, I was talking about people. Muthu Subramaniam. I think it's become the main topic today. So, we have all these feelings, This is where people talk about attitude. The utmost qualification a person can possess to become anything is attitude. The rest will follow. See, if you believe that nobody is going to respect you for how you look or how you behave, if you have the right attitude, somehow you will be liked by people. In USA, there was a metro railway station and a young guy was waiting to receive his wife. And he also had a brand new car. He was just cleaning and wiping the car and making it more shiny whenever he had time. And when he looked around, he saw a guy in rugs, torn shirts, torn pants, bearded, not very presentable. He had hunger in his eyes, all these things. When you travel in US, at least when I went for the first time, I was told, if you see people like this, don't develop eye contact, they say. Because they'll come and bang your head with a beer mug and take away the money. So this guy also got a bit nervous. He didn't want to look at that person at all. This guy was sitting in the corner. The train was to arrive in another 5 to 10 minutes. This guy was looking at his watch, looking at yet again wiping the car. This was going on. So that guy got up from there, slowly walked towards this person. He became even more tensed. See, this guy is coming near. Just try to avoid him. That guy, he said, "Mister, you are maintaining your car so well," he said. This guy was taken aback. He didn't express such a refined voice or communication from that person in drugs. He said, "Sir, thank you very much. It seems you're waiting for someone for quite some time." "Yes, sir, my wife is coming." Going again the car. See, when a guy opens the door for the wife, either the car should be new or the wife should be new. Anyone. Yeah, both are new. So he's awaiting her arrival, but this guy was, after communication, he understood this guy is a respectable fellow. Though he's in rags, he's a respectable fellow. Now he wanted to know whether he should offer him something for his breakfast or something. So this boy, this young guy asked him, "Sir, do you need any help? Do you need any?" Can you imagine what the answer was? Huh?
Who doesn't need?
Yeah, he said, "Don't we all? Do you need any help?" He said, "Don't we all?" See, that was an eye-opener for this guy, you know. See, until that position, we were talking about humility, until that position, he was under the impression that he is in a position to give and help someone else. But this single statement, "Don't we all?" it says, everyone is expecting a help in any given point of time from somebody or the other. So in one place we help others, in other place we are in the receiving end. So it is a circle. One guy doesn't grow big just because he is giving money to somebody. The attitude matters. See, I think Karthik was talking about my lecture in Trivasakam. I would like to share an anecdote from Ramayana. You know, this Vamana story comes in Ramayana. You know this Vamana avatar? He came as a dwarf, asked Mahabali for 3 feet of land, and he grew. When he promised, no, he just poured the water, the sacred water in his hand and promised, Vamana grew and grew. Here Kamban says, do you know how Vamana grew? He grew like the help done to greater people. If you are going to do a help to a great person, you know how it will grow? The same way he grew. Does it make any sense? How?
A great person will dissipate the help, they'll keep helping others, and that person will keep helping others.
Yes. Yeah, you are right in a way. That is one perception of it, and that's a proper perception also. The another thing is, see, there was a great scholar called TKC. He gave an example, Rasikamani TKC. He said, 3 fellows, they came in the same bus to a town. The first time they are coming to the town, they were just all wide open mouth, they were seeing through the windows and all these things. When they got down from the bus, somebody took away the money which they had in their pocket. 3 guys didn't know anybody there, not even a single bite. But these 3 guys had some problem among themselves. They don't talk to each other. You know, that happens normally. Even our Indians from here, when they go to America, they don't talk to each other. So they asked for a local guy, how do I save myself and who will help me? He referred to a great philanthropist in that town. He said, you go to him, he'll help you. What you really need? They said, see, we barely need 100 rupees, 50 rupees for our food and 50 rupees for us to go back to our place. That shouldn't be a problem. You go meet so and so, he'll help you. So the first guy went, came back. The local fellow, did you meet my boss? What happened? He said, yeah, I went to his palace. It was such a lavish place, very great place. I went and asked them, sir, can you give me 100 rupees? You know, for his stature, 100 rupees is like just 10 paise. He gave me. I came off. The second fellow came. Hey, what happened? You went and met my master? He said, yeah. I asked him for 100 rupees. He gave me 100 rupees. Okay. The third guy came out. This fellow is asking, what happened? Sir, he doesn't even know me. I am nervous for him. I went and asked him, sir, can you give me 100 rupees? Without asking a single question, he gave me 100 rupees. Is it 100 rupees? At that point of time, it's worth 1 crore for me. It saved me from a lot of embarrassment. It is something like 1 crore. See, for the first fellow, 100 rupees became 10 paise. He said it's just 10 paise. The value is 10 paise. Second guy, 100 rupees was just 100 rupees. It neither decreased nor increased. But for this third fellow, he is a noble guy. He said for him, in his dictionary that 100 rupees, the value of 100 rupees went up to 1 crore. Same help was done to 3 people. But the attitude determined the altitude of the help they received. Everywhere, attitude matters a lot. There are people, even people like me, in certain places, we feel small. And it's okay to feel small in one way or the other. Not every time, but certain places it's always good to feel small. When we feel small, a question arises, can we do this, can we do that? Are we capable of doing this? All these questions come up. See, when we succumb to these questions is when we try to rise up to the expectations of others. When we try to impress somebody. I think Karthik said why he learned, why he came to Toastmasters Club, he wanted to impress his crush. So if we talk in English, maybe she will say yes. So when we want to impress people, no? See what happens, this guy, they'll get written script from friends, There are from friends who write poems to help the love of their friends. I have written so many poems like that. I spent all my student days in writing love poems for others and I failed to do it. So what happened, these guys, they sit and write. They sit and memorize. Hi, can I have a minute of yours? All these things. And it won't come at that time. Suddenly they'll try to switch over to Tamil, that will also won't help. It will say, you don't rely on me first, you relied on something else, so I will not help you. So, the learnt language is known as Vaimuri. Learnt language is Vaimuri. Your mother tongue is Thaimuri. There's a song, Vaimuriyum en Thaimuriyum Vasappadavillayadi Vaitrukum Tondaikum Uruvam Illaduru Urundaimu. All these fellows got script from others and tried to by her. Now, why I'm saying this? I was talking about where we feel inferior. Whether can we raise up to the occasion is a question which often arises. Because we want to satisfy others or impress others. See, a person was selling dogs. There was a big board in his shop. It said, I sell speaking dogs. Have you heard of the story? He was selling speaking dogs. One guy staying in the same neighborhood, he used to see that board. Hey, some fellow is cheating. He'll think and go. But every day people will walk out with a dog in the hand and smiling bright faces. So this guy grew suspicious. Maybe these dogs are really talking. But that day he saw a board. Today is the last day in the sale. So he thought he should give a try. He went inside and this guy was busy counting money. He said, what do you want? Dogs, speaking dogs. Okay, go see in the back whether there are some. I think all are sold out. Then he went and saw. There was a dog. He said, you just looked at the dog and the dog said, hi, how are you? He was astonished. How come this dog is talking? He said, and the dog said, I'm Anthony. If someone is Anthony, sorry. Oh, I'm Anthony. No. Hey, how come you speak? Yeah, I speak. Okay, where were you earlier? He said, see, I was in some other country. I was in Switzerland. I'm basically from Switzerland. I was working for the intelligence group of the government. Just because I'm a dog, these guys will take me and put me in the palace of the other presidents or some other prime ministers of other countries. I'll just sit and listen what they talk, and they come and report to my motherland. This was my profession, and I took VRS very recently. And just I know many stupid people are here. They'll put me Taisanam for me every day. I would like to eat and relax throughout my life. This guy was very happy to see this. He went and asked the guy, sir, I want to buy the dog. Which fellow? He said his name is Anthony. Oh, that Anthony, yeah. Okay, pay me 2,000 rupees and take that fellow. He was confused. Sir, just 2,000, right? Hey, nowadays he's saying too much of lies, I don't want that guy. That was the complaint of the owner. This guy is happy that a dog is talking. The owner is saying, hey, he's saying too much of lies. The lesson is, if you are going to attempt impressing people, you can never impress everybody in their life. So stop impressing, start inspiring. We are not here to impress people, we are here to inspire people. So when I was talking about this attitude, I work in, basically I started my career as an advertising professional. I write advertisements, that was my first job rather. So there was a challenging offer to all the advertising professionals in India. They wanted a nice ad agency to produce a commercial for aluminium. Indian Aluminium Corporation. There is a great advertising professional in Mumbai by name Alik Padamsi. He is one of the best advertising professionals in India. When all the other agencies turned down the offer, this guy took up the offer. He said, yes, I'll do it. See, what can you really do in advertising for aluminium? I think you remember an advertisement done for steel. A child will be sleeping, a diaper will be around its waist, a small pin will be put in it. And a close-up shot of it will say, there is a bit of steel in everybody's life. You remember? This was a TV commercial, I think. But what can you do for aluminium? Where did you see aluminium recently?
Doors. Aluminium sheets. Doors.
Sheets and doors. It's too technical. It doesn't connect with the common man. No? Aluminium foils, packing food. See, these all come from the elite people like you. When I went and asked in a common forum, where did you see aluminium for the last time? Sir, when I went to the temple, a fellow was having a beggar was having a begging bowl. Pichai edukka thalai sirandhathu Indian Aluminium Corporation. You can't say that obviously. So Alik Padamsi took up the challenge. In 20 seconds, you'll have to say a story. That is the challenge of any advertising commercial. You can't sit and write pages and pages. Just in 20 seconds you should say. See, when I was working for an ad agency, this cadaver transplantation happened for the first time. If someone is dead, they'll donate their organs and all these things. This happened for the first time when 2 to 3 people survived because of one person's brain death. But many people are here with dead brains, but we cannot operate on them. But this guy was clinically declared. So what happened? 2 to 3 people survived. So they wanted a visual based press advertisement. Your TV commercials didn't take up much on those days. So we were breaking our head, how do we communicate this, how do we communicate this? Then what we did is we lit up a match. Then again we blew it off, scanned that match, put it in the screen, added some smoke to it, and that guy's photo was near that match. Then we said, the match is gone. The match is gone, but the light which it left behind is matchless. The match is gone, but the light which it left behind is matchless. So this is visual thinking, So this Aluminium Corporation, Alik Padamsi took up the challenge. He said, I'll make a very interesting 20-second commercial. First 17 to 18 seconds, no aluminium at all in the storyboard. You know how the commercial went? There was an open hall like this, nobody in the hall, and one window was slightly open. Small window, slightly open. In the hall, there was a table, and on the table there was a big glass jar in which a cute goldfish was happily swimming and playing. Then a black, stout cat slowly emerged through the window. These living beings are more sensitive than us. This fish could see a cat coming. It started trembling in the water. The cat slowly scrutinized the whole hall. It made sure nobody is there in the hall. It just jumped inside the hall. Now this trembling fish, it started jumping. Out of fear, it started jumping. Galloping inside. Again, after seeing the whole hall, ensuring that no one is around, now this black cat just bounced on the table in which the glass jar is kept, in which the goldfish is swimming. Now, out of fear and shiver, the fish was jumping. It came and fell out of the golden jar. The fish came and fell out of the glass jar. Now, this cat just bounced upon the fish, took it in its mouth, left it back inside the jar, kissed the jar and ran away. Alik Padamsi freezed the scene. He said, Indian Aluminium Corporation, ordinary people, extraordinary attitude. The very name of the brand emerged only in the 18th second. It said, Indian Aluminium Corporation, ordinary people, extraordinary attitude. So, as people we might be ordinary, but if our attitude is extraordinary, we are bound to excel in whatever we do. Nothing is going to stop us. Nothing is going to block our passion, provided we give our heart and soul for it. So, if at all you have a passion, please follow it. I'll conclude by a small anecdote on this. Why should we follow our passion? There was a person in, again, Great Britain. He was learning Jewish language. He had such a passion to learn Jewish language. He was let down by his wife. He said, why the hell are you sitting in Britain and learning Jewish language? He never heard. He just pursued. At one given point of time, there was an advertisement in the papers of London. It said, we want one person who knows Jewish language. This fellow went. What happened is, there was a terrorist group. They had a dog. They trained the dog in Jewish language. It knew their whereabouts, where they hid things and everything. Just to avoid confrontation from common people and police, they trained it in Jew. Now these guys abandoned the place and left. Now the Scotland Yard police wanted to find out a particular place through this dog. So they wanted someone to instruct the dog. This fellow came. There were no other people turned, only one guy came. I know Jewish language. He came, they told their need, he instructed the dog took them to the place, they were able to capture these fellows. Now these police groups were suspicious. They said, hey, this is the only one fellow with this skill. He might charge us in a very big way. So we'll do one thing, we'll just give them 1,000 pounds, this fellow, 1,000 pounds we'll give and send over. So the main officer, he took 1,000 pounds. Thank you, mister. Please take this 1,000 pounds. This fellow put his hand in his pocket, took another 1,000 pounds, he gave to the police along with this. He said, why are you paying me? He said, see, I was following my passion. My wife used to criticize me like anything. just 2 days before I was preparing for this Jew exam, she was telling, "You idiot, you are going to learn this language wasting your time in this Britain, in this London. If you are going to talk Jewish language, even a dog will not listen to you." But how nice of you bought a dog for me, which listened to me to prove my wife was wrong. So the idea is, if at all we have a passion, and if we are going to follow it, it will be recognized in one way or the other. So by improvising your communication skills, I don't talk much in English. I am a Tamil orator. Even yesterday I met Ravanan where's Ravanan? I spoke to his students in Madurai College. He was wondering, what are you going to do tomorrow? You're a Tamil orator. I said, that's what my puzzle is also. But when you have a passion to communicate, language is secondary. Thank you. Thank you. I was known as a Tamil orator. I'm still known as a Tamil orator, but my guru, Sadguru Jagi Vasudev, he made me his official translator. So whenever I translate Sadguru's words, the language skills came up very well. I did my schooling in English medium, but Tamil was again my passion. So following your passion and making it a profession is the greatest blessing anybody can have. I wish and pray every one of you have the same blessing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. M. Muthiah, for the wonderful speech. I request you to please come on stage and request the Division Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Mala Bala Subramanian, to present Mr. M. Muthiah with token of appreciation.